In this video we are looking at the brand new DJI Neo2, this tiny 4K drone. But has it actually been improved? Let's find out. So DJI released the original Neo in September 2024, and now we have its predecessor, the DJI Neo2. Now weirdly, this has already been announced in China. It's released like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not going to go too much into the spec of the DJI Neo2 because you probably know it already. This is a really bizarre move that I've not had before, so I'm going to actually focus on, since I've had this drone, what it's been like for me, my review and my experience with the Neo2. Now firstly, the design. If you look at the Neo1 to the Neo2, we have a completely different design. The Neo2 is larger, it's also heavier as well. So the Neo2 is 151 grams without the transmitter, and it's 160 grams with this transmitter on the back of it. I will come on to this about the advantages to this, but you can take this off if you don't want it. So weight wise, it's only around about 20 grams different to the Neo1. You're not going to tell any difference when you're holding these, but if you look at the size of them, this is where the size difference is apparent between the Neo1 and the Neo2. Now, I don't think that's a problem at all. It means that any additional weight and size for this Neo2 compared to the Neo1, it means you're going to get better performance and better wind resistance. Now, if you do like tech and drone content, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Not only have we seen the Mini 5 Pro and other drones recently in these last few months, we have more coming. This isn't the end. It just never seems to stop. So the tech and drone content, really busy time, so don't need to miss out on future videos. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you like any part of this video, get any enjoyment out of it, any knowledge, or just enjoy watching it, just hitting that like button, completely free, doesn't cost you anything, and it just helps this channel out a lot. Thank you. So initially I would say that DJI have listened to the feedback of the Neo. This at its time was like completely unique. We've never seen anything like this before, but it wasn't perfect. And now we have sensors on here, which is one of the downsides to the Neo. So this will help prevent your drone from crashing, which is a lot better. But also the camera. So the camera on the Neo, this would say its biggest Achilles heel. It just wasn't great, was it? But now on the Neo2, it has been improved. So it still has that 1/2 inch CMOS sensor, but can now record up to 4K 60 FPS and for slow motion, 4K 100. Now, this is one of the areas that I was really interested and keen to test this out, because just like on that Neo, you would actually record your video, and when you're looking at it on your phone or your iPad, you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty good this, it's not bad at all. As soon as you put those clips onto a TV or a monitor, it was like, this doesn't look great. It was just not good at all. I am really pleasant to say that one of the first tests I did on this, it was in really harsh environments, in a cool location, but high noon, so not the best conditions. But the video quality coming from this Neo2 is much better. And all these examples you're seeing on the screen now, these are straight out of the Neo2. It's a lot better, is it? It's night and day difference from the quality you got on that Neo to this Neo2. Granted, it's the same size sensor, so low light isn't going to be fantastic, but we can see now that this footage is much better. But also you can record in both horizontal and vertical. Now the gimbal itself doesn't rotate like it does on the Mini series. What it does, it allows you in the settings to switch from horizontal to vertical. So you can get a vertical video and then share that straight onto, say, Instagram Reels without the need for any cropping or editing whatsoever. Now I'd say compared to like the Mini drones, this Neo is completely unique. This is a fantastic cinematic drone, the best Mini cinematic drone you can get. But this is like completely different and a different use case. So if you have one of these mini drones, you could still get one of these because this has something different to what the mini drones can do. And it's more of that fun factor and the way you can actually use these drones. Now, traditionally, what you would do to control your drones is have a controller. Now, with the Neo2, just like we saw on the Neo1, you can control this in a variety of different ways. And now with this Neo2, it's got a lot better. So you can get this with the DJI N3 controller, or if you have the RC2 controller, you can use that. Now, if you actually use it with this controller, you're going to get the full flying experience, just like a cinematic drone that you might be familiar with. So you can go into the settings, you have a lot more options in them, but also you can do active track via the controller and also spotlight mode. So for my first testing of this, I went to the Salt Flats just outside of Vegas, really cool place, and this is where I want to put it to its test. Now this could have actually gone wrong and destroyed this drone on one of my first tests, but I thought, why not? And I was actually pretty impressed because on the original DJI Neo, because it was so small and tiny, for tracking anything other than a person, it was pretty much non-existent. So I can go into my controller and I can actually draw a box around this vehicle here. Now I can set off and I can actually choose some spotlight mode or active track where I can position this drone on that clock face. Now it's not going to be as good and responsive as say the Air series or the Mini series, but I was actually really impressed with just how good this did. Now, if you don't want to use a controller, something which you'll always have with you is your phone. So what you do, you download the DJI Fly app on here, you turn this drone on, and then automatically it will actually pop up on your phone that it detects a DJI Neo2 is nearby. So I turn this on, go to my phone, and I've got a notification saying DJI Neo2 is found, connect to aircraft. Click on that, that's going to automatically now connect to the DJI Neo2. And this, I would say, is my most preferred way of actually flying this Neo2, because I could take this with me with no effort whatsoever, put a couple of batteries in my pocket, and then I've got pretty much the full control that I want without the need for any other controllers. And for somebody who just wants to get into flying drones, maybe a beginner, somebody who wants something to just capture themselves on their adventures or out with their family, friends, this, I would say, is a really good setup. So now I've got it connected, I can see this live preview what the drone is seeing on my phone. And then I can go to this menu here and I can actually choose, do I want it to do some quick shots, master shots, or simply just track me. I might be with a group and I want it to take some photos. So if all I have to do to actually get one of those going is get the drone and put it on my palm, and then once I've got it selected, I hit start. Now the drone is then going to take off and it's going to start following me, for instance, if that's what I've selected it to do. Now, because I've actually got my phone here, I can just glance at it and I can see exactly what that drone is filming. So it's much better than the next example, which I'll show you. And the software's got a lot better because when it is tracking you, you can actually go onto the menu and you can choose, do you want the drone to be close to you, medium or far out? And then also the angle of the drone. Do you want to get a low shot? Do you want it to be flat? Or do you want it to be high? It's got a lot better. In the past, you would have to go into the menus to activate all that. Now you can simply just touch it with your thumb and then you can see everything the drone is doing. So here, for example, the drone is just tracking me from the back. I can now go into this menu and I can say, right, go to the left-hand side now. And the drone will swing around and it will track me from the left-hand side. I can get it from the front, from the right-hand side. I've got all this control. Now, when the drone is tracking me, I can just put my phone to the side and you would have no idea that I'm actually controlling where I want this drone to be. So the experience here has got a lot better. But also one of my favorite features from last time that's got better now is the manual control. So I can click on here and click manual control. And this allows me to basically use my phone as a controller. So if I hit start, I'm going to take this drone off. And now all I have to do is go on the screen and I can actually push forwards, left, right, up and down and control this drone remotely from my phone. So as I'm walking, I've just got my thumb on the phone and it's controlling the drone and I get these really cool shots. Now, something which wasn't great in the past when you were using your phone and the DJI Neo was the transmission distance. So this now is using Wi-Fi to control that drone. And on the Neo 1, it was 50 meters maximum range. And if you got 50, you're doing really well. So this is where I come on to this new transmission module on the back. So what is this all about? Well, when you attach this, and it screws into the bottom. So I have it attached basically all the time. I never take this off. You can do if you want to save a little bit of weight, but I just don't bother. Now, when you have this attached, it goes from 50 meters to 500 meters of Wi-Fi range. And that, what DJI is saying, is a substantial difference. Now, I do have a video coming on this where I fully test that out, but I would say that it's at least 5 to 7 times better from Wi-Fi range than that Neo, and that is brilliant. So it gives me the confidence that when I'm flying this manually using the controls on my phone, I'm not going to be thinking, right, it's going to
fly in well-lit, textured environments.
So when I'm actually flying this drone with my phone, I'm not going to be thinking, right, is it going to cut out or is that signal going to drop? This transmission module here gives you a lot better transmission performance. And also when you're doing things like quick shots or master shots and the drone's quite far away from you doing these type of shots, it's not going to cut out and lose signal because of this new transmission module. So again, if you get this with a fly mode combo, it comes with this new module on the back of it. Now the next way of flying this is not with a controller or your phone, it's simply just with the drone. So you can control this without the need for anything else. So on the Neo, you had this like thing on the front of it, which allowed you to choose the different quick shots or tracking modes. And that was okay. But now you actually have a screen. It's pretty hard to see, but you've got a screen on the front of it. And this shows you what you've currently got selected. And on the side of the drone, you have these buttons. And this allows you to actually navigate through the menus and then start one of them. So if I select this button now, I'm going to try and keep me out of focus. As I select it,
circle,
it goes through these different selections that you could activate.
Rocket, circle, droney, selfie shot, follow, rocket. Follow.
So for instance, if I wanted follow, I've got it activated there. Now I can also hold down this and I can get to follow from say far out, from close, just by pressing this button. And then the button next to it, this red button, you would press that.
Left, follow, 3, 2.
And the drone will then take off and it will actually start to follow me. I cancel it then because I don't want it to take off and crash into all this equipment. But this is a really convenient way of getting these shots when you're not wanting to take anything else with you. For me personally, I would still probably prefer to use my phone because I can see what's actually being recorded. I can do manual flying if I want to. It just gives you a few more options. Whereas this, you literally have the options on the side and the front of the screen. So this is good. And I use this when I'm tracking for say, tracking me on a bike, or I might be out for a walk and I just want to get these shots now. I can literally just press that, it'll take off, it will do the shots, and then I put my palm out and it will land. And that is it. Really nice and simple to use. But DJI couldn't just actually give you a Neo2 without a little bit of showboating. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to actually feel the Force, or you just like to see those people at airports when your plane is coming into the stand who are like navigating that plane on, well, you can kind of do that now with the Neo2 as well. So now you can actually do different commands with your hands like this to control the drone. Let me show you, it's pretty bizarre. Now, if you get any funny looks from anybody else when you're using gesture controls on your Neo2, like you're pretending to be directing planes into the stand, that's not my fault. Now, to prevent a lot of crashes like the Neo1 had, this now comes with a variety of different sensors all built in, and I think this is a fantastic move from DJI. So it has a new omnidirectional monocular vision system. These words just get different every single time. So we have a upward sensor, you have a downward sensor, you have lateral sensors, and you also have a forward facing LiDAR sensor. Now this, especially for what this drone is for, which is basically like tracking you, it's a vlog drone, a drone that you can take with you and get shots of you or your group. But when it's tracking you and it's going forwards, left, right, and you actually want the confidence that it's not going to hit anything and crash, now we have it. So we have omnidirectional sensors and a LiDAR sensor in this tiny drone. Really good. Now on the top of the drone, this is where the battery placement is going to be, and the battery is larger. It's also extremely fiddly to get out. So this is a 1606 milliamp battery, and DJI state you're going to get 19 minutes of flight time if you're using your Neo2 without the propeller guards. If you're using it with propeller guards like I have here, 17 minutes. And I would say that is fairly accurate. I was getting right about 15 minutes. Now, because of the drone size and also these drone batteries are are super small. You're not going to get fantastic battery life, but it is heavily dependent on where you're going to be flying your Neo2, how windy it is, and the type of features that you're using. So just like always, I would highly recommend, if you're going to pick this up, get it with the Fly More combo. This is going to give you 2 extra batteries. I mean, these batteries are really small. I mean, just look at how thin they are as a profile. They are super tiny, so you could have these in your pocket, no problem whatsoever. So I normally just keep 2 of these in my pocket, have another one on top of the drone. So you're going to get 3 batteries in total, and you're also going to get this charging case, charges via USB-C, so you can charge all your batteries. Don't have the Neo2, just like I said with the Neo1, with 1 battery. You know, 15 minutes of flight time, then you have to put your drone away or wait for it to charge. It's not a good experience. And if you don't want to get the Fly More combo, these batteries are pretty inexpensive as well. So just make sure you have 3 batteries for your Neo2. Now the drone itself doesn't have any SD card slots. It does charge via USB-C. There's a USB-C port on the back of it if you get the module, or there's going to be another one on the back of the drone, but it doesn't have an SD card slot. So this means that everything you're going to be recording is going to be recorded to the internal storage on this drone, and it comes with 49 gigabytes, which is a decent number. So overall, we've had some really impressive improvements on the DJI Neo2 over that original Neo. So let's look at some prices. So I'll put the prices on the screen now. So if you want to get just the drone only and you want to control this with your phone, well, for that it's £209, 239 euros. It's not going to be available, unfortunately, in the US. And then if you want to get the drone as a drone only Fly More combo, bear with me. So what that gives you is the drone. It's also going to give you the Fly More combo, the bag, the 2 extra batteries, but you're not going to get the transmission module. Those prices are on the screen. And if you want to get the full Fly More combo, the one I would recommend, because then you're going to get everything that you're going to possibly need, including this transmission module on the back of it, £349, 399 euros. Now, before I tell you about what I think isn't fantastic about the DJI Neo2, let me tell you I've got my own website full of DJI cheat sheets for your DJI drones. It's going to show you how to get the very most out of them. Now, I've got them in digital format, but also in book format like this. The book format is selling out really fast. So if you want to jump on these, I'm going to link them at the top of the description as well. But with this book, you're going to be able to keep it with you all the time. Every time you go out flying, you can refer to this and get the very most out of your drone. The settings to change, all the different features, and it's available for the Mini 5 Pro, the Mini 4 Pro, and the DJI Air 3S. I've got loads on that website, including video LUTs. So if you want to check it out, I really appreciate it. So some of the things that I found a bit disappointing, and I'm hopeful that these could be changed with firmware. And the first one, back to the camera, is to do with the color profiles. So we've only got the normal color profile on this, which means that your footage in normal, just like all the other drones, it is overly sharp and a bit too saturated, that DJI use for the normal color profile. We don't have D-Log-M, which is a fantastic color profile we have on all of these other drones. Now, I know the marketing this for beginners, but a lot of people who are experienced drone pilots will want this for a bit more of that fun factor. So to not have D-Log-M, it's disappointing. And also, just like on the original DJI Neo, when you're using this with your phone, like I showed you, the DJI Fly app, or when you're using it with just the controls on the side of it, you don't have any options to change the sharpness or the noise reduction settings. Now, also the design of it. So I like the design. I do like how this is a bit more stronger, has better performance, it handles the winds better, but it is awkward at putting it in a bag or a pocket. I find it's too big for the pockets on my jacket anyway to go in that comfortably. And when you're putting it in your bag, because of this transmission module, it sticks out. It's pretty awkward. Now, it does have some screws on the back of it, but they are the most smallest screws you've ever seen in your life. And you do have to have that DJI screwdriver with you all the time. If you want to unscrew that, take it off, put it back on, put all the screws back in, you're probably not going to bother. So it is more of an awkward drone to take with you. That said though, aside from these small disadvantages, this is night and day difference over the original DJI Neo. This was a lot of fun, this still is, but now you've got that performance and the better camera quality. So with this, it was just fun to fly, it was really cool and unique, you could control it with your phone, but to watch it back, it was just always disappointing. It was like, I wish it just, why couldn't it have a better camera we now have it. So if you want to go and check this out, I'm going to link it at the top of the description. It doesn't cost you any more to buy it from that link. It does help out the channel more. And one other area that I've not had chance to actually test this out yet is that you can fly this with your FPV equipment. So I'm going to be actually testing it with that as well. So that's going to be interesting. And then in a follow-up video coming really soon, I'm going to show you what that experience was like using the FPV goggles and the controller to fly this. So just think about it. You can control it as an FPV drone, a cinematic drone with your RC controller. You can fly it with your phone, and then you can fly it and get its track cue just from these buttons on the side. So this is really unique. Highly recommend it. Go and check it out. If you've got any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, because a lot more coming really soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.